everyone, it's Saturday. Time for another episode of Beyond Garnet. Let's get creative.
May be too intense for some listeners, may be unsuitable for sensitive people, may cause dizziness, may cause drowsiness, may cause excitability. Safety goggles may be required for listening. Take with food, avoid contact with skin, avoid extreme temperatures, and store in a cool, dry place. This is not legal advice, must be present when contents under pressure may contain small parts. Listen at your own risk.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My guest has performed on the stage and screen. She's a powerhouse of a voiceover artist. Please welcome Shba Cochrane. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Lana. I'm so happy to be here and so honored and humbled. Thank you for asking me to be on your show today.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. You're busy. You just started doing voiceovers, right?
All right. Well, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I've always had this voice that a lot of people say, you know what, you have a really good voice. I've done a lot of theater, and of course, I've worked with the amazing director, Lana Reed. So, a lot of people, would tell me you have a great voice, and as a kid, and sometimes you like to sing songs, you watch TV, you want to impersonate. You pick up the Dawn soap and you stand in the mirror and you act like you're doing a commercial. So I said, you know what? Let me try this to see how this will work. So I went online, did some research, love YouTube, found a lot of stuff there. I got my demo together. I went on this website called Fiverr, and you can find me on Fiverr. My handle is Shba Cochrane 949, but I have a 5-star rating, and I've been starting to get a lot of clients, and this is looking very promising for me to possibly do this on a full-time basis.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think you can, but it's not all about money. You have to love what you do. That's first and foremost of anything. You have to love what you're doing. You can make amazing amount of money. For example, I have a coach that I take my Fiverr classes under. He just made $9,000 in 1 month.
Oh, wow.
Just doing voiceovers on Fiverr. So, yes, it is a very lucrative business if you know what you're doing.
That is amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
You meet all kinds of people. I've worked with people from the Netherlands, Belgium, Singapore, China, Japan, France, building a network of people who've passed me my information on to other folks. So it's great. So I'm like international. So
Hey, that's cool. That's very cool. Now, are you doing any dialects? Do you ever have to do any accents or anything?
The only accent that right now I'm pretty good at is British.
Okay.
British accent. And standard British. Cockney is, that's something that I really have to work on. And I have this book. It's an awesome book. It teaches you all of these different dialects. And, you spend your time, you put the CD in, and the guy starts speaking, and he says all these phrases, and you have to follow behind him and say all these sentences, like, the clock walked down the street, and then you saw the clock go up the street. And then you have to keep saying it over and over again. and then after you follow him, then you do this full conversation like you're talking back to him. So it's pretty cool. So I've done a couple with the British accent.
Okay.
But if any accent that I would really like to tackle, I would love to tackle a Jersey accent. That has to be one of the hardest accents for me to try to learn. It's pretty difficult, and I was really shocked about that. But I'm a go-getter, so I'll triumph magnificently. It'll take me a while, but I'll get there.
So that's part of the training, is doing all these dialects. That's even helping you for your acting as well.
Yes. I read out loud. I do, and people don't believe this, but that was one of the things. And I'm going to say this because I love you as a person, as a director. You are a ball of motivation, lady. You are just motivation.
Thank you.
I'm just going to be straight up about it. But I remember all of the conversations that we would have and the little things that people just do not pay attention to. It is so important to do mouth exercises and exercising your body and making yourself limber and doing stretches. these things are so important before you get started, becoming that character. You have to, it's just like when people exercise their body, when they work out. You have to work out. You have to keep repeating words, it's so intense. It's such a wonderful feeling, but you have to exercise every day that part of your body, your mind, the way you talk. When I get ready to do a voiceover, I say my ABC.
Yeah.
People say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But no, when I say it, you have to say like A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
You stretch that mouth out, yeah.
Your face in your mouth. And then when you start talking, it's like Plastic Man, or your mouth is just going all over the place, and you just got that voiceover, So yes. So I'm very fortunate that I've met a lot of people, important people, and had tutelage with my acting, and it plays a big part with my voiceover. It does.
Yeah.
It really helps.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are you working on now? Do you have any projects right now that you can tell us about?
Right now, I'm pretty excited. I filmed actually it's a student film from Tri-C. Our director, Charles Moore, he directed it, and it was a program that put together with James Audio. It's an awesome film. I'm so excited about it, and we won so many different awards. And the film is called The Simple Path. We've been accepted to all different types of. So we've been accepted in a lot of different film festivals.
Yeah.
I think we have about a total of 10, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's unfortunate, yeah, so that's pretty exciting, what we have going on. And actually 2 of those festivals are of Oscar caliber.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, when you make a film, it's kind of, I shouldn't say hush-hush, but there's so many delicacies to when you're entering a film in a festival.
Right.
To ensure that you don't cross any line, so you can continue on, continue going through the process. And, and I see great success. It's a film about caring. The things that we seem to forget, It's a film. I play Nevaeh. I'm a care nurse in an elderly facility. And, and I befriend one of the ladies there. And, she's an awesome woman, but, it's where do they go? It's nursing homes are the last lap.
Yeah.
The elderly. When funding is cut and things happen, where are we supposed to send them to? It's like, what are we supposed to do? So it teaches you about kindness, and it teaches you about, togetherness, and for us to think that their lives are not over just because they're in a nursing home. These
right.
People still, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she spent her last years in a nursing home, not because, we needed to send her there, but because, she had illnesses that required around-the-clock care
right.
from nurses and doctors. It's very important to visit them and to sit with them and talk with them, it's just, and I think we forget sometimes, and I think that's what this film is about, caring is free, we have to start coming together as human beings and starting to love each other and not forget about each other, and this time that we're going through more than ever, speaks volumes of that. But, I'm really excited about the film. And as far as having any other projects, I did have a couple of movies on the burner, but, as you know, everything that's going on, they were canceled.
Right.
So, yeah. So right now, what I'm doing is, I think as a woman, myself, we adapt and overcome. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make that sound sexist.
No,
but,
that's true.
We adapt and overcome, and we take our environment that we have, and we roll with it, and we make it into something. It's like, how does that saying go? You mold a statue out of clay.
Yeah.
You mold that statue out of clay. So I've been, really concentrating and booming my voiceover business. Building clientele, and that's right now. That's my biggest goal while we're, at at the stage that we're in with the, with the COVID-19.
Yeah. Now, didn't you
So
write and direct a short film?
Yes. I wrote and directed a short sci-fi film.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'm the type of person that, I research. It took me a while to get it together, but we had a lot of fun. We built our own sets. I looked at a lot of references. It was almost like living a real life, watching the making of Star Wars type deal.
Yeah.
How you see the artists back there putting things together, trying to make the scene look believable, putting all the little special effects in. So we actually made this movie in my mom's basement.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. This story is called Tier 1. And I entered it through a little 1-minute contest. But it made me think about an original. I'm all about originality.
Yeah.
I'm all about originality. Cliche movies just make me cringe.
Yeah.
But in this movie, I had one of my great friends, Ollie. She was my actress for this movie, and she played an astronaut who, in the future, who actually took a job to do some very dangerous repair on a piece of equipment. And what I did was I tied it in with medical care, because medical care is so expensive now.
Yeah.
Let's see how expensive it is 400 years into the future. So there is a medical clause called Tier 1. And Tier 1 means that you get top-notch care, but you're not coming back from whatever job you're doing to be able to get this type of care. The whole point of it was she needed to save her son. Her son needed a very delicate surgery to save his life, so she sacrificed herself.
Okay.
To save her own son. We used an old exercise chair and did it up, made it look like a space chair.
I love it.
Yes. We did now most of in post, I added a lot of the smoke and
Sure.
the camera shaking as if she's shaking on the ship. But, we did a lot of different color Christmas lights, and we used different panels, and we spray painted everything black to give the panels and the lights to shine and everything to blink like how I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I think what really amazes people more than ever is that I used my cell phone to film this.
That's awesome.
Because I didn't have a camera. So I had a cell phone, and I bought these moment lenses. And so I used the moment lenses to film, and I used a small Rode microphone that I attached to my iPhone.
Yeah.
That for sound.
Yeah.
So, when in post-production, I did it all up, made it, look Hollywood style, and people were, and I was really grateful for the good reviews. And they said, what did you film it on? I said, my cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I say that to tell people that if you have an imagination and creativity, you can use anything that you have to create something. You don't need a $100,000 camera to
Right.
make awesome content. You don't need all of that. People think you need this huge production. I mean, how many times have we gone to a movie and they spent millions of dollars and it was horrible?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely just terrible.
Yep.
But then you watch an independent film where the budget was, $10,000, $100,000, and the movie was absolutely superb.
Right.
It's just all about the content, the imagination, the story writing, the brilliance of the director. That says something,
We are in the day and age where there's no excuse for you not to be creating content or a film or what have you.
Yes.
With the technology that's on a phone right there in your hand. There's no reason for you not to do it.
Actually, I'm working on a sci-fi film, and where I live in Ohio. I live in Youngstown, and there's a lot of old, rundown, steel mills and stuff. So this is perfect post-apocalyptic.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you're going for. But like you said, I totally agree with you. In this day and age, there's no excuse. We have too much.
Yep.
Too much available now that we can make awesome content without having to,
go broke or mortgage your
this
house
person,
or
that
max
person.
out your credit cards or.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
The beauty of it is we have all of these, and a lot of people, they want to do the practical special effects, and I get that. I understand that. Whenever I talk to a friend, or even sometimes sometimes in my mind, I want to just go all big and wide with everything, but then I have to come back down to earth and think, okay, what do you have that you can make great content, because you don't have all of this.
Right.
And I know you're not trying to spend all of this money just to try to do this, so you
Right.
have to think about it. But my point about it is that there are so many brilliant directors, so many brilliant actors and stuff that I've worked with, and and I've seen what they can do. But they want it to be so big and so, production-wise. They want it like, they want Lucasfilm money to
Right.
try to,
Right.
get this to work. And I always use that example with, hey, I'm a big zombie fan. I love zombie films. And George A. Romero, Night of the Living Dead, on a super shoestring budget.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most iconic films of today.
Yeah.
It was pretty much kind of like paved the way for all of these other zombie films that that we watch and see that come out.
Right.
So so these are things that I pay attention to, and I watch, and I take lots of notes and things. But yes, you're absolutely right. We're in it. As a matter of fact, there's a play that some of my Shakespearean sisters are doing, and we were all supposed to get together to do this play. Because of what was going on with COVID-19, we had to cancel it. But one of my very good friends, Kim Vocus, she said, no, we're not going to stop this. We're going to keep this going. So they're doing it online.
Oh, I love it.
They're going to play all of their characters on in front of their devices, and they're going to, when it all comes together, I think they have their own little scenes and stuff. They have it all figured out, and so when they're ready for the production, then they'll let everyone know, and then we'll watch this play unfold.
Right.
From all the characters, and I think, and it's just it's so wonderful. We can still make things happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was very impressed with that.
That's very cool. That's awesome. I'm glad they're doing that. So you probably have a list. Everybody has a list. I know I do. Who is someone you'd like to work with in the future that you haven't had a chance to work with yet?
People may think that this is a weird list, but I don't care. I would love to work
Hey,
with
it's
Anthony
your
Hopkins.
list. It's your list. It can be whoever
It's
you
my
want.
list. Right. I would love to work with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love him. I've been following Anthony Hopkins since I had to watch A Lion in the Winter. It was a movie I had to watch for when I was in college.
Yeah.
And his performance was absolutely spectacular. And then come to find out that this was his first movie, because he was a stage actor.
Yeah.
And from there, I've just been following him and watching his characters just transform and just change. And he's never the same character. I can never see the same character in any of the movies that he played.
Right.
But he really sealed it for me when he played the evil dad in The Wolfman. I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
They picked the right person. I loved him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, his performance was fantastic when he played in the movie where Hannibal Lecter, where he played in Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love that he played the Wolfman. So someone else who I'd like to work with. Okay, I would like to work with Bruce Campbell.
Oh, yeah, he'd be fun.
I absolutely love him. He is so funny, so hilarious. I've been following Bruce Campbell since the Evil Dead movie.
Ash?
And,
Is that his character, Ash?
Yes. He is definitely a method actor. I mean, oh my God, his performance in that movie when, and I know it might sound weird, but he was possessed by the spirit, and his hand actually got possessed. And how he was using his hand and breaking the dishes on his head and stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, this performance is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I was cracking up, but it was so good. Let's see. I would also like to work with Susan Batson. Batson she's a phenomenal actress. She actually did a lot of stage work, and she's one of the most sought after acting coaches in New York. She wrote a book that I hold near and dear to my heart called Truth. And this is one of the best acting books I've ever read. And she goes down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic actress. I've seen her. She's played on a lot of 70s movies.
Yeah.
And movies from the 80s. But I really, love her style. And she's just a phenomenal actress. So let's see, I have a couple more people on my list. So when it comes to, I would also love to work with, and yes, I love Meryl Streep.
Oh, yeah.
Would love to work with. When I saw her in August in Osage County,
yeah.
She's all, everything she plays in is just, she just lands it. She nails everything she plays in.
Right.
But this movie right here was just sealed it. I mean, she should have got, like the honorary Oscar with crown on its head, because this woman is fantastic. She's a fantastic actress.
Yeah.
Would love to work with her. Love for her to just teach me, give me a couple of secrets. I said, come on, give me some secrets. As far as an actor, I would love to work with Jamie Foxx.
He'd be fun.
I've been following, yes. I followed Jamie Foxx since In Living Color. And
Yeah.
to watch how he has transformed from Wanda
Yeah.
to Ray,
Yeah.
one of the biggest things I love to see is actors when they grow.
Oh, sure.
But, everyone has a start. Everyone has a beginning.
Yes.
And then to see how they grow and how they manifest and how, they become mature and how they become older and how their characters change and how it's just like, perfect example, Sean Penn, okay? Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, yeah.
To I Am Sam. Okay?
Right.
Look at the difference, the level of acting. Same thing, Forrest Whitaker. He started off on Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Look at him as the last Scottish king. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It's, just to see how they grew in their craft, it's just absolutely amazing.
It's about putting in the work and doing the training.
Yes. He locked himself up in like this tower somewhere in Scotland just so he could just find his character.
Yeah.
He stayed there for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I said, now that's not method act. If that's somebody who is not into their craft,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I'm not gonna lock myself up like in a dark house. Scared. A horror film. I was like, no, I'm not going in there. I don't think so.
I'm good. I'll just pretend.
Just act like you're scared.
Yeah.
Like something's coming after you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you, that does work when you're trying to get that last 20 seconds or 2 minutes in on that treadmill.
Yes,
I
it
said,
does.
I said, think if Michael Myers is behind you. You're running. You can't slow down 2 more minutes and you make it to the car and you drive away. I tell myself things like that.
That's funny. I love it.
Oh, and I have to say, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, I love her.
I've been following her since I saw her in Alien, which I might add that role actually is supposed to be for Meryl Streep.
Oh, wow.
But yes, when she had to do her screen test, she sold it. She proved herself. I love her because her characters are so strong.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I've never really seen Sigourney Weaver play a weak role.
Yeah.
Even when she played in Working Girl, when she, when
Yeah.
she got the boot at the end.
Yeah.
But still, and to play, she always played roles that empowered women. That, she was a woman that was put in an uncanny situation.
Yeah.
And she just had to survive. She just had to take her wits and everything she knew so she could get out of this thing alive.
Yeah.
And that's why I love her character as Ripley on the Alien series. She's, and I think she plays a lot of herself too, because she never plays, to me, I've never seen her play a weak character.
Yeah, I haven't either. I can't think of any character she's played that's been weak. No.
Nope. Mm-mm. And Aliens is the top, let me tell you.
Now, Shba, what was a defining moment when you knew you wanted to be an actor?
It was a breakup. I was young. I was like 17, 19 years old. And it was a break. You know, it was a bad breakup, and you know, my mom, the pillar of the spinal cord of my body, my mom. She, you know, helped me, you know, and told me, you know, you're young, you're beautiful. Don't worry about that. You do something that you've always wanted to do that's positive. You know, to keep your mind off of and things. So I was reading the paper, and my local playhouse had a play called Extremities. And that's the play that's actually the movie that Farrah Fawcett had played in, where this rapist tried to, you know, come after her, and she locked them up in the fireplace, and she had 2 roommates that was like, okay, what are you going to do? You know, you got to get rid of this guy. So anyway, it just so happens that there were auditions. And so I auditioned for the character Terry. And what I did was, I don't know how other actors find their moments, but I always use a situation in my life that I helped to pull out my character. And it was my pain from my breakup.
Yeah.
The crimes I had to do, the fear, it sold it. And and the director, he didn't even, usually they tell you, okay, thank you, and we'll call you. He came up to me and said, can you give me that performance every night? And I told him, yes, I can do that. And right then and there, that opened the door for me. And I stepped right in, and, you know, and I never looked back as far as acting. I knew that this was something, you know, sometimes it's funny, you know, how things happen in our lives that turn us towards something that we never had the courage to pursue. But when you go through something that is very hurtful or powerful, that are very emotional, and you're standing on your own 2 feet, you realize, hey, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Yeah. We don't always know how to do something. All that matters is you keep doing something, you keep learning, you keep trying to figure it out. Just don't stop.
Yes. Yeah, you never want to stop. And show some humility. You know, there are people who have been doing this for a while. If they give you advice, take it. Don't be offended by the advice. This person has been acting and has a resume that's longer than your arm, and they're trying to give you tips.
Yeah.
I remember when we were filming the scene on Dogwood Pass. But he was so kind because he took me under his wing and he explained things to me. He explained to me about lighting. He said the reason why the lighting is shining on you like this is because it helps to bring out your skin tone better. So the scene can be a lot better when you come in. So since you're in your scene, you want your moment. So turn this way when you talk. He wasn't saying things like that to be rude. He was trying to help me. He was trying to teach me.
And you even danced with him too.
Okay, so we all know. Okay, I'm straight up. I love Streets of Fire, and that is my movie. That is that's in the top 10 of my DVDs that I have.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved his character. I loved him in that movie.
Yeah.
And there was a song based off of that movie, and it actually was on the charts. It was like, I can dream about you.
Yeah.
If I can't hold you tonight. And so we just had that moment. It was cold. And we had that moment, and so we just started dancing, and we just started singing, and that was just such a great moment, a memorable moment that I'll never forget, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just so awesome, you know? And, you know, and thank you for giving me that opportunity to be able to, you know, like meet a huge fan that I am of Michael Pare, you know? And my sister was like, what? I can't believe it. What? You got Michael Pare? Oh, man. Yeah, because my sister and I are huge fans. So, yes.
Yeah.
We danced, and it was awesome.
That's
we had
so
a lot
cool.
of fun.
Yeah. Shba, what were you like as a kid?
Shy. Didn't want, you know, was real quiet. Didn't say a lot. But I did a lot of artwork. I drew all the time. And what was so fun about it, I didn't draw pictures like the flowers that girls draw, or the princesses. I like MGM monsters. So I used to draw Frankenstein, and you would see them drawing beautiful scenes. Our teachers would hang up our pictures, and the girls would draw these beautiful scenes of a castle and a horse and butterflies. And I would draw a graveyard with bats flying and a werewolf running in the background on the dark hill or something. And, as a kid, I had a great childhood, my mom and my dad, they worked hard. They were hard workers, Sometimes, things were tight, things were tough, but we had family, Family was there, and that was important. My dad, he said, I have daughters, but you're gonna learn how to, change the tire. You're gonna learn how to cut the grass. You'll learn how to do that. So my dad, he wanted to make his girls independent.
Yeah.
To be able to, take care of stuff. And I'm not talking about, when I turned 50, no. He was teaching us that when we were like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
10 years old. We were learning about all of this type of stuff. But as a kid, I was destructive. I didn't mean to be, but I always had inventions I wanted to make.
Sure.
And my sister and I would break things and play football in the house and fall out of trees, and I did a lot of stuff that children today, they really don't know about, being outside and playing and running and having fun and racing and pulling stuff on your radio flyer, wagon.
Yeah.
Those are just wonderful moments, But as a kid, I was really shy. I wasn't as outspoken as I am now.
Yeah.
I knew how to respect adults, My parents taught us that, So, but, I played video games, I was a huge tomboy. I'm just going to be straight up.
Sure.
I liked, dressing up, but it wasn't fun. It was fun with what the guys were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, even to this day, I buy men's tennis shoes because ladies' tennis shoes don't look good.
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't want tennis shoes with flowers on them. No offense to people who want flowers on their shoes, but I'm out here trying to run this marathon. I'm trying to do this zombie run. I can't run with flowers on my shoes. No, so I think we were like the last of the Mohicans when it comes to not having a lot of electronic devices.
Yeah.
And I hate to kind of like be hypocritical, but it was different when we were kids. You remember, we had fun. Like for example, my niece and nephews, we sat there and we watched Stranger Things, and they absolutely loved the '80s, the setting that the kids were growing up in. I said, hey, that's what we grew up in. That was us.
Yeah.
That's how it was when I was a kid. And so my niece and nephews were so amazed. Wow, Auntie, that's how it was when you grew up? Oh, it seemed like it's so fun. I said, yeah, it was. I'm not saying that kids don't have fun today, but never the fun like how you and I used to have when we were kids.
Yeah. That's so true. Now, do you collect anything?
Actually, I'm going to take some pictures and send it to you.
Okay.
I collect figurines. I have Star Wars and Star Trek and Batman. Yeah, I collect a lot of figurines and pretty expensive dolls.
Yeah.
And if you would look at my office, you would think it was like maybe this is somebody from Disneyland that works here or something like that. Yeah, I have I have a Boba Fett bobblehead. I have a Samurai Jack, and I have some alien posters, and I have I'm a big kid at heart.
Yeah.
And I still collect. I used to go to the comic book conventions, but I do a lot of ordering things now because we can't go now this year. But and believe it or not, yes, I still watch cartoons.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're still entertaining. They're very funny. Now I'm not gonna sit there and watch like PBS cartoons. But
yeah.
But I watch like my Batman. I watch Justice League. I watch a lot of superhero cartoons type deal, and some anime. Yeah, so fun and expensive.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah, that's true.
See, it's different when your mom not buying it for you, your dad.
Yeah, right.
I said, how much is this going to be? So I have to decide, I would rather get this one or this one. You know what, I'll just get them both. How about that?
I love it.
I always say that you can't be cheap with yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't splurge and spend money when you know you have bills to pay.
Right.
But, if you're somebody that works so hard and, you're a very positive person, and if there's something that you see that you want, okay, yeah, maybe you do see this little figurine that's $150 or $200, and people are like, I would never spend that kind of money. But if it's something that you want, something that you work so hard for, it doesn't even have to be a figurine, whatever it is, get it for yourself.
Yeah.
Treat yourself. You deserve it, this life is too short, and God knows we cannot take it with us.
That's true.
So, we have to, enjoy, what we have and live.
Yeah.
I used to be cheap with myself all the time, and no more. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, do you have any goals set for yourself for in the near future?
One of my biggest goals is to be self-employed and to very much triumph it magnificently as a voiceover talent. I already have an LLC. I'm serious about this. I'm getting my name. I'm working on my brand. In the near future, I give myself about a year that I will be able to sustain myself and to continue building my voiceover business. Those are one of my biggest goals that I'm working on right now. What I love about voiceover, you can work with so many people in so many different countries, as I had said before.
Yeah.
But what makes it, you're your own boss.
Yeah, that's even better.
How hard, and being in this industry, it's very hard and difficult for us to, sometimes we wait on this and we try to wait on that, and we have to wait for, and I understand there's a process for everything. Your own fate in your own hands. No one will work harder for something for you than you.
That's a
If
fact.
you don't work hard to get it for yourself, no one else is going to bust their butt to do it for you. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So that's one of my goals. My other goal is, lose a couple more pounds. Lose a couple more pounds.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yes, but hey, well, yes, I am. I'm young at heart, but I'm kind of getting up there in the years. I don't look like it, but I'm starting to feel it a little bit. I'm looking more towards my health as well. That was one of my biggest goals, get my health on track.
Yeah.
Now, when you slip and fall, you just lay there.
Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, and that minute will turn to a long minute. They come back, do you want me to set your plate right here on the floor next to you? Because I'm still laying on the floor. But yeah, I do have some goals, and to give advice to people out there, and I'm not saying I'm an expert, but when you have a goal, we always want to see it in a whole. We always want to see the big picture of it.
Yeah.
We always want to see where we're going to end up, and that's wonderful to have that kind of vision. But you have to take the little steps to get there.
Yep.
And every little step is so important, and each little step deserves undivided attention so you can get to the next step. I use the example of Candyland, okay?
Yeah.
So many times I try to skip steps and end up falling down the Rainbow Bridge or ending up in the molasses swamp.
Yep.
I said, that's it, no more. No more of that. So now, I'm taking every little step, and doing it's a process so I can, make it, we look at the talent side of it, which is wonderful, but we got to think about the marketing side, the business side of it.
It's called show business for a reason.
There you go. You have to, you got to look at that side of it. So many people, and I see, they don't know the business side, and some people, they get, taken by people who know that business side and money that was supposed to be owed to them, contracts that are not properly signed, right, where you think that you're in the clear, but you don't know that you going to owe this person royalties to the end of time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really, you know, before you jump and sign the dotted line or say yes or whatever, do your research.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop and think for a minute. Is this something that I want to do? Is this the right way to do things? Because if somebody wants you to hurry up and sign here, don't want you to read a contract, don't want you to look at any type of agreements or anything like that, that is a red flag. Run.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Run
it
away.
is. Yes, it is.
And a lot, you know, and you and I, we're seasoned, you know, we've been there, done that.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I think when we've been there and done that, we've given some kind of, you know, I'm going like science fiction, supernatural. We've given that kind of telepathy, you know, we see, oh, this is no good, you know, the red flags are there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, when I see a red flag, it's not a red flag. The whole marching band comes in there dressed in red, and the cheerleaders are swirling around the red flags in the air.
Yes.
No, not this one.
Yeah.
So for the younger generation, just pay attention. You know, go with your gut. Listen to what. If you have a bad feeling about something, 9 times out of 10, it's right. Listen to yourself.
You gotta trust your gut.
You know? Yes. Trust your gut, trust your eyes, and trust what you see, and trust what you hear.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't look right and it doesn't sound right, 9 times out of 10, it's not right.
Yep.
So, but I think what it is that we're so afraid to question something because we don't want to lose an opportunity. When you do lose an opportunity, that's the best opportunity that just happened to you because you just avoided a huge mess.
Yes. Absolutely.
Just keep it moving.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my fun question I like to ask everybody. We're talking about needing to drop a couple pounds. What's your favorite type of cake?
Oh, German chocolate cake.
German chocolate cake. Now, do you have a certain place out there in Youngstown or somewhere nearby where you love the German chocolate cake, or would you rather have it homemade?
Girl, it's homemade. I don't have any place out here, girl. I love, this is the town that I'm born and raised in. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But we're kind of like a speck on the map.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, there's places that you go, but there's nothing like a homemade German chocolate cake. You
Oh,
know?
sure.
And yes, my mom makes it. You know, that's the only time I'll eat coconut is on a German chocolate cake. I don't like coconut any other way but on that cake.
Yeah.
And I told her, just make me a small personal one, please. Don't make a big cake because, you know, if you do,
I'm going to eat it.
It's over.
I'm going to eat it. You make it. If you make a whole big, huge cake, I'm going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a chocolate cake fan. I love either a classic yellow or just a classic chocolate with chocolate icing.
Mm-hmm.
I use a bundt pan. I ice it.
Oh, yes.
I cut like 3/4 of it and take it to my mom and dad. I keep the other little quarter for myself.
I know.
Here you go. Yeah.
There are times where it's so hard for me. I used to just throw something in the trash and like pour salt on it. Like, I can't eat it anymore. You know, to keep myself from eating it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what anyone says. Go ahead and get yourself, this is what this diet lady said I was watching on this program. Go ahead and get yourself a pound bag of Hershey Kisses, and then what you'll do is you'll have that for your dessert, and by the end of the day after dinner, you'll eat 5 Hershey Kisses for your dessert. I said, yeah, right.
That lady doesn't know me.
Exactly. Girl, there were so many little Hershey Kisses papers all over the coffee table. I said, that's it. I said, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, I'm a huge hamburger fan. I love burgers.
Oh, I do too.
Love burgers, yeah. You have a good burger, it's just, I love good hamburgers.
Yeah, it's evil.
Yeah, you know, I sometimes when I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't drink. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect. I have emotional, not problems, but sometimes something happens that upsets me, and I'll always, what do? Sometimes we call our mom and say, you know what, Mom, this happened and blah, 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 blah. She said, okay, I want you to calm down. Don't stop and get a hamburger. You go straight home.
You know what my weakness is? When something goes wrong for me, I order a pizza.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good Lord.
A pizza and a tub of Edie's chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there, and then I say, what's on Netflix? And I find some kind of movie, and then that's it. Ice cream gone, pizza gone, and then you just sitting there upset and surprised when you stand on that scale, and it went up 2 pounds.
Let me tell you something. You know what I've learned in the last 2 minutes? You and I cannot be depressed together at the same time.
Because we'll have pizza wings, we'll have potato wedges with cheddar cheese on it, and bacon. Yes, girl, we'll be sitting up there crying and eating at the same time. Yes. And then you'll know to get back, because we'll both have our own whipped cream.
There you go.
We'll just be rubbing it in our mouth.
That's right.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Now, where can people find you on social media, Shba?
You can find me I am on Instagram at my Shba Cochrane. I'm on Instagram there. Not on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook under the same name, SHBACOCHRANE. And if you are very interested in a voiceover, if you want to check out my gig, please look me up on Fiverr. That's www.fiverr.com, FIVERR. And please put Shba Cochrane 949. And you'll be able to pull up my gig, and you'll be able to listen to some of my my past client work. You'll be able to listen to my demos, and you'll be able to read the ratings that clients have left me. Wonderful ratings, you know. So I'll do your voiceover, and it'll sound like $1 million. You only paid $5 for it, but it'll sound like you paid $1 million for it.
That's cool. Now, on that site, people can upgrade, can't they? For like $15, you can do this, or for $30, you can do that. Yeah.
Yes. I'm pretty much like at the beginning. I'm the beginning stages of it. I'm actually working my way up. But so the basic price of Fiverr. Now, Fiverr, this site is wonderful. It's not just voiceover. It's anything. They have people who write scripts. They have people who, you know, do a book trailer for you. They have people that'll draw tattoo pictures for you, sing songs, animation, you know, whatever it is that you can think of that somebody can sell, they can sell it on Fiverr. So it's called Fiverr because $5 is the basic price. That's the lowest you can go on there. And then from there, it continues up. So I've gotten some pretty good gigs. I actually have one now that I have to read, and it's very noble cause. It's about the COVID-19 and about PTSD in children. I did a very interesting one about grandparents who actually had to be parents again because their kids weren't good parents. Yeah. And and you learn a lot too. It's an awesome site. It is.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to go on there and check it out. I'm going to listen to some of your voiceovers.
Oh, thank you. Please. I would love to do some stuff. I would love to do some stuff for you, of course. You know, you'll get a coupon. You know, you'll get a coupon. You know that, right?
I love it.
I give you a percentage off. No.
I get the friendly rate.
Yes, the friendly. You're going to be like, wait a minute, she gave me this code. It's not working. Oh, you were supposed to do that 5 minutes ago.
I love it. Well, Shba, thank you so much for joining me today. This was so fun.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
This was.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. You know, I miss you. I miss talking to you.
Oh, I know. I miss you too.
Really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel free to share this podcast with your friends and family. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at It's Me, Lana Reed. Also, stop by Apple Podcasts to subscribe, rate, and review. Many thanks to the musical genius of Kevin MacLeod at INCOMPETECH for our super slick theme song, Jet Fueled Vixen. Thank you to Michelle Lawson for our witty and fun disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by the guests on this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host, Beyond Garnet or Garnet Films.